Yes, good morning students. Last class we discussed about steam nozzle. The one more component we are discussing, important component in the refrigeration of power plants, and this is the air compressor. The air compressors, introduction to air compressor means what is the working principle and classification of the air compressors. I already mentioned. Wide application is reciprocating compressor. So we will discuss about thoroughly about reciprocating compressors. Next, what is the optimal pressure ratio of the multi-stage reciprocating compressors? Effect of intercooling. Minimum work for multi-stage reciprocating compressors. Next, introduction to rotary compressors. This one we will discuss in this unit. First, what is air compressor means? It is a device which is used to increase the pressure of the air from the lower pressure to higher pressure. Lower pressure means ambient pressure. Maybe multi-stage means it is different. First stage high pressure, next stage low pressure. So low pressure to high pressure. I want to raise the pressure of air. The component which we use that component is called air compressor. The application of the air compressors, gas turbines and propulsion units, pneumatic tools and rotary type 1 drilling, grinding, hammering purpose we are using, and pneumatic lifts, and for cleaning electronic goods cleaning small blower type compressors we are using, and paint spraying we are using, and air operated braking system for heavy vehicles and railways we are using air compressed air, sand blasting and blast furnace we are using, or compressed air we are using in internal combustion engines for supercharging of that supercharging and turbocharging. Wide application is there, that's why we are discussing this one. And working principle I already mentioned. One prime mover we are using. The prime mover is directly connected to the compressor. The function of the compressor for rising of the low pressure air will enter into the compressor. By using number of stages or single stage, we are reducing the reducing the volume and increasing the pressure of the air. Classification of the compressors, the wide classification basically according to design and principle, one is reciprocating, second one is rotary. On simple classification, first one is reciprocating compressors, second one is rotary compressors. According to number of stages, single stage compressors and multi-stage compressors. According to number of stages, the single stage compressors and multi-stage compressors. According to pressure limit, low pressure compressors delivery pressure may be less than 10 bar, medium pressure compressors 10 to 80 bar, high pressure compressors 80 to 100 bar. According to capacity, low capacity compressors delivery 0.15 meter per second. This volumetric, the velocity based on the velocity, volume of discharge. The velocity range is 0.15 meter per second. Medium capacity compressors delivery is 5 meter per second. High capacity compressors is more than 5 meter per second. According to method of cooling, air cooled compressors, liquid cooled compressors. According to nature of insulation, portable compressors, semi-fixed compressors, nature of installation, portable compressors, semi-fixed compressors and fixed compressors. According to applications, so many applications, what are the applications we discussed? All application name of the rock drill compressors, quarry compressors, sand blasting compressors, spray paint compressors. According to number of air cylinders, single, duplex, triplex, based on the air cylinders we can call. So these are the classification of the compressors. Basic classification I already mentioned. One is reciprocating compressor, second one is rotary compressors. In rotary compressors, for supercharging in internal combustion engines means vane type, row, uh, different types of the compressors are there. For gas power plant, we are using axial flow type. Centrifugal, we are using for the supercharging and small applications. So move to the reciprocating compressors are two types. One is single acting compressors, second one double acting compressors. Means single acting, double acting compressors means only above the piston the suction and compression is taking place, then it is called single acting compressors. Above and below the piston, the compression and suction and compression is taking place, double acting compressors. Suppose single acting compressors we are assuming, while piston is moving from TDC to BDC, inlet valve will open. Why? Because vacuum is created inside the system, inside the cylinder. Then suction of the air will take place. Once piston is reached to the BDC condition, inside the room and ambient both will reach the same pressure. Then once piston is moving TDC to BDC, inlet valve will close and compression will initiate. At the end of the piston reaching TDC, it will reach the designed maximum pressures. Then exhaust valve will open and exhaust that compressed that outlet valve, not exhaust, because in combustion is taking place, then we will call exhaust valve is the outlet valve. Outlet valve will open automatically, compressed air will move to the storage cylinder. Why? Because reciprocating compressors continuation mode we are not giving the compressed air. So for supply, continuous supply of compressed air means storage system is required for reciprocating compressors. But once the piston is moved to TDC, some clearance, you can see it contains some clearance volume. Inside the clearance volume, the air will accumulate inside the clearance volume, the compressed air. While again expansion stroke is started, piston is moving from TDC to BDC. First, that compressed air occupies some volume. Then we calculate volumetric efficiency, we will get the efficiency will not get 100%. But because the compressed air in the clearance volume, it will occupy some space. Then after remaining volume only we can suck the atmosphere. The main disadvantage of the system is high pressure air result in leakage through the piston, and cooling system is required, and high requires a stronger cylinders because high delivery pressure purpose only reciprocating systems we are using. So high delivery system is required. And the work requirement, suppose isothermal process we are moving, the area under PV diagram will get. Isothermal process we are moving means less work requirement is more than sufficient compared to adiabatic process. Adiabatic compared to polytropic process, adiabatic process required less working requirement. This is the flow process. So the flow process in the practical case isothermal is not possible. So what are the assumptions we made? First assumption is no pressure drop for inlet and exit, and complete compression process takes place in one cylinder only. First, one more assumption, there is no clearance volume. We are not assumed clearance volume. Without assuming the clearance volume, there is no pressure difference drops in suction line or discharge line. Then what is the work requirement? The pressure in kilonewton per meter square, volume in meter cube, temperature in Kelvin scale. Then in a polytropic process directly we can write the equation n by n minus 1 into P1 V1 minus P2 V2. Actually the equation for flow process. But what happened? We know the direction, work required, that negative sign indicates the requirement, positive means work produced, but we know the direction. So now I want only magnitude. So now I want only magnitude, that's why I rewrite the equation n by n minus 1 into P2 V2 minus P1 V1, or in place you kept P1 V1, you substitute instead of P1 V1 equal to MRT1, because we are using air compression. Air is a perfect gas, it will obey the Boyle's and Charles law. Then work done equal to n by n minus 1 into MRT2 minus T1. Then n by n minus 1 into MRT1 into T2 by T1 minus 1. Then work done equal to n by n minus 1 MRT1 into P2 by P1 whole power n minus 1 by n minus 1. Then final equation, work done n by n minus 1 P1 V1 into P2 by P1 whole power n minus 1 by n. You can write P1 V1 or MRT1 according to given data. But what is this is per cycle only, one cycle of operation, suction and compression, one cycle of operation. This is the work requirement. Then you multiply with the speed n, we will get the speed in RPS. work done into speed in RPS, then you will get the kilojoules per second. Per second, how much energy required. If single acting. If double acting reciprocating pump means multiply by 2. Every revolution of the crankshaft we are getting double compressed air. Two steps. So then power requirement equal to work done into 2n. But speed in RPS, if your speed they given in RPM, you convert into RPS, then only you will calculate the power requirement in a process. That's it. We'll move to the isoentropic efficiency. The power requirement we know, but for compared to isoentropic process, actual process the requirement is high, no doubt at all. The requirement is high in actual process, then isoentropic efficiency of the compressor they will give that 75 to 85% we are maintaining isoentropic efficiency. Then isoentropic efficiency of compressor equal to isoentropic compressor work input required divided by the actual compressor work input. The actual compressor work input always higher than the isoentropic compressor work. In the problem, if they mentioned the isoentropic compressor means after determining the isoentropic process, you divide by isoentropic efficiency, you will get the actual compressor work input. The mechanical efficiency means that is indicated power to the shaft power. Indicated power means the compressed work output, how much we got. How much shaft power I am giving, the mechanical efficiency will get more than 90% because input is high grade energy. Once we will calculate what is the volumetric efficiency of the reciprocating compressors. You see, this 1 to 2 compression, piston is moving from TDC to BDC. Then we exit valve, that outlet valve will open, and at constant pressure only that assumption itself will take. Discharge of the compressed air will take place to the cylinder, but piston will reach only up to this position only. Up to this position only. This is called clearance volume. V3 equal to, this is the clearance volume. But piston again move from V3 to V1 for the suction stroke. Okay. But you see, while piston is moving, this is the swept volume. This is the swept volume. The swept volume is the V1 minus V3. The swept volume means piston movement volume, pi by 4 d square into L. In internal combustion engine also we calculated. Swept volume, this much of swept volume is there. We are theoretically we are assuming entire swept volume, suction of the air will take place. In practical condition, you see, the whatever the air is accumulated in the clearance volume while piston at TDC, once piston is moving from TDC to BDC, bottom dead center, top dead center to bottom dead center, first this compressed air in the clearance volume, first it will expand. The compressed air in the clearance volume first will expand, then after suction from the ambient will take place. So effective swept volume is V1 minus V4, not V1 minus V3. That is only the volumetric efficiency. Effective swept volume divided by the actual swept volume. Okay, then we will write process IR. Main advantages: mechanical freedom for moving parts will take place. If there is no clearance volume, there is no mechanical freedom. Reduce noise and vibration in the engine and prevent from the damages. Direct contact is taking place. You are increasing speed means damage of head will occur. Main effects, what are the main effects means suction volume is reduced. I already shown effective suction volume is reduced. So suction volume is reduced means mass of air discharge is reducing and clearance volume is increasing. Heavy compression ratios are required. Heavy compression ratios means high mechanical loss is coming. Okay. In single stage, I want to produce high compression ratio. High pressure means due to the clearance volume, the mass of discharge drastically reducing. That's why in reciprocating compressors, maintain less clearance volume. We are maintaining less pressure ratios and multi-stage compression we are doing. to the effect of clearance volume we want to reduce. Why? Because less pressure ratios will occur. Less pressure ratios means expansion stroke. It will not occupy more volume of the this clearance volume air not occupy more volume of the cylinder. Then automatically we are reducing the clearance volume effect. Why multi-stage compression we are taking? That is one main point. The second point we will discuss while we are discussing multi-stage compressors. Compressor capacity means what is the volumetric flow rate, meter cube per second. Swept volume already mentioned, piston movement volume, pi by 4 d square into L between two dead center, bottom one and top dead center. Clearance volume is total volume minus swept volume only. That is only clearance volume. Then clearance ratio, clearance volume to the swept volume. From the equation, clearance volume is V3, swept volume is V1 minus V3. Pressure ratio, pressure after compression by pressure before compression. And then volumetric efficiency, the clearance ratio, the volumetric efficiency equal to, it is ratio between the actual air intake to the swept volume. Actual air intake means actual swept volume to the theoretical swept volume. Effective swept volume by theoretical swept volume. First clearance ratio Vc by Vs, V3 by V1 minus V3. V1 minus V3 equal to V3 by C. The clearance ratio we denoted by C. Then V1 equal to V3 by C plus V3. Then V1 equal to V3 into 1 by C plus 1. We want to substitute this all in V3 form. Then pressure ratio Rp equal to pressure after compression P2 by P1 equal to pressure after compression by pressure before compression P2 by P1 or P3 by P4. Then P3 by P4 equal to V4 by V3 whole power n, P3 V3 power n equal to P4 V4 power n, then it's equal to compression ratio, the pressure ratio Rp. Then V4 by V3 equal to P3 by P4 whole power 1 by n, that is equal to Rp power 1 by n. Then V4 equal to V3 into Rp power 1 by n. Then volumetric efficiency equal to effective suction volume V1 minus V4 by swept volume V1 minus V3. Then volumetric efficiency equal to V3 into we substituted V1 value V3 into 1 by C plus 1 minus V4 equal to V3 into Rp power 1 by n. Then V1 equal to V3 into 1 by C plus 1 minus V3. V3 can cancel. Final equation 1 by C plus 1 minus P2 by P1 whole power 1 by n. Then divided by 1 by C plus 1 minus 1. Then you kept C 1 plus C minus C. Plus C minus C can cancel. 1 by C we are getting. Then 1 by C come to the numerator. We are getting C. C into 1 by C plus 1 minus P2 by P1 whole power 1 by n. Kept C inside. Then C can cancel. 1 plus C minus C into P2 by P1 whole power 1 by n. So, volumetric efficiency in the form of clearance ratio, clearance volume by swept volume. In the form of clearance ratio, we are writing volumetric efficiency. We will get the final equation 1 plus C minus C into P2 by P1 whole power 1 by n. C is the volumetric clearance ratio, clearance volume by swept volume. Okay, next class we will discuss about multi-stage compression.